Hey girl, we're gonna be doing some art TikTok tip reviews till the sun goes down, if you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep you here nice and close, baby, and I'll go try to keep it quiet. Oh god! Oh my god, I'm doing spacebar, it won't pause the video. How do you stop this? Oh my god.
Draw your spine! Add a little curve to it because we are drawing a woman! And women are curvy! Just go in, out! You'll be fine!
Could you imagine doing a video like that? Hey guys,
Stop using squares for hands. Too blocky. Polygons are where it's at. Easier to connect thumbs and fingers. Block out the fingers in groups. When in doubt, one fingy out.
When in doubty, one finger outy. That's my catchphrase. That's my catchphrase. That's pretty good, girl, but you're missing out on a couple things, so let me show you. When in doubty, one finger outy for sure, but what you're missing here is this beautiful little shape that I like to call it's this little triangle with the favored side on it. What a lot of people don't know is that, yeah, you can use this for the shapes of the fingers, like these little pinkies. You got the flat side, and then you got the side with the little bump. You can use it for the thumb, and also you take the exact same shape and you flip that sucker around. You can use that for the other side of the thumb. All right, that's all fine and dandy. Everybody already knows that. But what about using it for the negative space? Didn't expect that, did you? You take the negative spaces betwixt the little fingers right here, and you take the same little triangle shape and you fill that sucker in. You just fill it in. Go check out my class in the description below, and you're gonna learn a lot more. You're gonna learn a lot more.
How to draw anime thighs. Let's get started. This is the human pelvis. A bone that sits right around here on these two spots right around here. Bone protrudes outward and then comes down just like this, and that's what gives hips their shape. You're drawing thighs. The inside thigh is going to have a curve at the top. The outside of the thigh is going to pretty much be smooth. Draw your bump and then draw another bump just like that, and then connect the thigh. You get this shape right here. When you're drawing thighs, just use like bean shapes, okay? That's how you draw anime thighs, just like so.
They call me the thigh master. They call me the thigh. I love this guy so much. He's got some pretty good points here. But what I don't want you to be doing is this. We do bump, 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 bumpity bump. We don't do that. That's a little bit too much. What we're going to be doing is looking for the overall shape, the underlying shape, and then we can add the bumps later, if you know what I'm saying. All right, yeah, I used to draw a lot of thighs back in the day. Check this out. All right, here's a little example right here. He's talking about this pelvis bone situation, but what he doesn't understand is that, yeah, the bone is going to make the thighs kind of stick out a little bit further, but mainly what that bump is the fat. That's where the fat collects. That's really important because that's going to be the pivoting point of our line. That's where the line's going to turn. All right, now these two individual shapes, we're going to follow this line and see where they converge. That's going to create those underlying shapes, and the booty is going to be a completely different shape sitting on top of that. And it's not just for that character. Look, it's for every single character that you do. I don't care if they're skinny, if they're big, they're all going to have these different shapes sitting through. All right, and you can still have all these little bumps, bump, bump, bump everywhere that he's doing. You just got to make sure you find that underlying shape first. Look, I'm going to find this underlying shape right here. And then after that, now I'm going to go underneath, and I'm connecting these bumps right now. I'm looking at the bigger picture, and afterwards, now I'm going to go in and erase that structure lying underneath. That's what it's coming down to. You create that structure, and then you just erase the lines that you don't need, instead of going in there and drawing every single individual bump, you know what I'm saying?
Draw your bump and then draw another bump just like that, and then connect the thigh.
What he's talking about right here, he says draw another bump right there. What he's talking about, there's this muscle group. It goes right down to the knee. You can check it out right here. What a lot of people don't realize is that this sucker, this line, is going to go all the way up to the hip. Create that structure, carve in, carve out. Look, let's find it right here. All right, we're going to be using the same strategy for everything. I want to find these nice hips, these nice thighs coming out like this. I'm going to see where they lead. They're going to lead up to the upper part of the hips there. Everything past that point is just going to be this nice swoopy U line that kind of connects everything. All right, girl, just look for the overall underlying shape to these things. That's what a lot of people are missing. Look, even there, you can see that muscle group again. That's kind of leading up to the top of the hip there. Don't kid yourself. Don't think that any of these shapes are sitting off from a different part from another one. Here's another quick tip. That fat of the thigh, it's going to be sitting on the outer topper edge, and then in the lower, it's going to be this pivoting all the way, pivoting towards each other, coming towards each other in this V shape. They're always going to be doing that right there. All right, think about the overall shape.
You want to be an artist, but you don't even know where to start from. Concept that you need to understand is shapes. A lot of artists use geometry when they're drawing. So for example, you can easily see that we got a pentagon in here. Instead of worrying about whatever the hell this shape is, we're gonna worry about the space that we got right here. So we got just about that much of the canvas empty. We're gonna use negative space to fill in the shape.
Hey girl, add me on TikTok. But for real though, stop. Don't do this. Don't do what she's saying. All right, I'm gonna get real with you for a second. If you're doing a portrait that's in a specific box or something, maybe you want to find these negative spaces that she's talking about. Otherwise, if you're doing character designs, don't do this. This is not professional. You need to find the shape of this character. She's kind of doing it, but the opposite. Check it out.
Now that we have like the general shape, we're just gonna follow the same rules, but on the inside. So for example, you can see how his entire face is literally a square. Oh no, I don't know where to put the nose. Let me use the concept. Look at that. Look at that. Straight to the corner. Look at that. Follows the line.
Okay, what she's doing is more of an illustrator type of thing, but I'm going to be talking about how to actually design shapes. We use this in the industry all the time. Professional character designers, animation, illustration, video game design, film. You can get lost in all these little bumps. Look at all these little bumps in this little man's head, but we're not going to be paying attention to that. We need to focus on this overall shape. Again, the overall shape. Where are these points moving to? Oh, it's this big shape right here. Boom, 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 boom. And now we follow this line down here. This line's back up here. These lines and shapes are balancing one another. That's why the photograph worked in the first place. And the way that this thing is wrapped too, everything is converging to this one point in the wrap. We need to take that in consideration, that things are swooping in and swooping under. Everything's having this nice twist to it, so keep that in mind. Again, I know this looks spiky on his head, but we're gonna be rounding these edges out later. We're finding the overall shape first. We're not doing the little details. All right, she had a really good point on the nose, I'm not gonna lie. But what she didn't think about was this highlight. You can look for highlights on the face that also create shapes on the face. So let's follow this highlight down from the top of his little forehead and to his cheek. This is gonna swoop in like this. We can also do the same thing for the shadow shape on the other side of the face. It's gonna create this nice dinkle donk on the face, all right? So there's hints everywhere that you can see shapes on the face. Some people just can't see them with their little eyes. The ears also creating this nice shape of the whole turban. Check this out. Now that that's all done, now we go in and we carve in and out. Now that we got those major shapes, again, we're erasing, all right? That's a really big part of this. Go in and erase. Don't forget about erasing.
Number 3. Drawing the smile with all the teeth. It is 110% unnecessary. Just look at it. You can leave some space and it'll look amazing.
This is such a big deal. I cannot stress this enough. Do not draw every single individual tooth. It's too much. Look at all these details. The only thing you need to know is this artist right here, Sam. Go check out Sam's YouTube channel. Sam's killing it right now. One thing that we can learn from Sam is that there are almost always 3 parts of a teeth section. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 6, but later it's going to be simplified into even less shapes, down to 3 shapes per mouth. But what we can definitely see so far is that there's no lines describing the teeth. In illustration, you do not have to draw every single tooth. You can block it out like this, very simple. This is what a lot of people don't understand, is they're like trying to draw on their own. Don't stop drawing straight out of your brain. Go look at a professional artist. Look right here. And there's also another secret tip that Sam does I'm going to show in a minute, but right here, it's just one cut. It's just a one little chip out of the whole tooth section segment right here as well. Just a very, very simple chip out of that tooth section. 1, 2, baby, 1 shoe, buckle my shoe. Right here as well. You just got a little 1, 2, 3. Look, another one of my favorite artists right here. Mr. Odess Ball, one of my favorite artists right here. Amazing teeth, always amazing teeth. 1, 2, 3, very simple. It's even a 1, 2 with the little third one cut out of the side, all right? Okay, another thing that Sam does that I was gonna talk about, whenever we start to break down just how much information we're seeing from these teeth breakdowns, the top is the big and the bottom's the small. Sometimes you don't even see the bottom, but mainly it's that top row is the biggest one. The bottom's just a very small sliver, so don't go too big clunky with both sections of your teeth, you know?
One shape I learned that changed my art. Draw 2 squiggles that come to a point. Then just continue it from the inside and repeat the pattern. You can use this technique for grass, hair, ribbons, bandages, and even horns. You can shade roughly or take a fancier approach.
There's so much that you can do with these ribbon shapes that people don't realize. Check this out. Well, first of all, I want to cover that some people draw like this, where you don't connect those sides. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Draw through the flipping thing and just freaking erase it, all right? I'm not trying to be mean now, all right? Just erase it. All right, check it out how you do it with hair. All right, I'm not going to try not to get mad here. Here, what you do with hair. All right, I've had enough of this. I'm getting mad now. Look, with the hair situation, it's just a tuck and roll. Break it up into shapes. Look, it's 3 different shapes. You can do the exact same thing as the ribbon. All right, and the thing is about the ribbon shape, it doesn't have to be so big and flowy and, you know, you have to have straight lines to kind of say that this is the structure. A few straight lines here and there, that's all you gotta do. All right, I'm getting a little bit heated. I'm gonna have to take a step back. Really gonna try to be nice with this one. All right, look, the very first step she did was wrong. I'm sorry, girl, you're wrong. The very first mistake is you went a little bit too sketchy with this structure line right here. It's not supposed to go right here. It's supposed to go from all the way to the top of the head and follow all the way down to the bottom of the chin. Why? Because that's going to connect this part of the chin, this little thing right here, and the bridge of the nose right there. That's where your structure is lying. If you take my class, I talk about this in more depth. All right, and it's not just for the face. This happens all over the body, if you know what I'm saying. And what we figure out from here is that there's this nice little triangle that it's creating, and we know that that's the structure, that's the area that our lips are gonna sit in. They're gonna, the very tip of that triangle, that's where the little lips are gonna touch, the very end of those lips. So we know that's where we stay. That's our home base. We stay within that triangle. All right, with this TikTok right here, you did pretty good because I can see what you want to do with the circles. The circles for the lips, you know, you make the circle, the lips luscious with the circles. The thing is though, if you got the home base of this triangle right here, then you know that's where the circle's gonna sit, is within that home base. And the nose, the bridge of the nose is going way too steep right there. Create this little secret triangle and you're gonna have a nice little home base to go back to. Look, you put those little balls right in there. Do that, and then again, you erase. Like I always tell you, just erase it out. Even the nose fits in that little home base right there. Very simple. And you know what? Even the bridge of the nose, if you don't want the bridge of the nose, the bridge of the nose doesn't have to be flat. It can have a little bump as long as it comes back to this point right here. You can have the bridge of the nose, because there's all kinds of beautiful noses, baby. We can do a bump, we can do a swoop, we can do whatever. There's so many different types of beautiful noses. So don't just do this stupid little Disney nose all the time.
Number 2 is drawing only with straight lines. Rarely anything on the human body is a straight line. And this is due to the shape of our muscles, which we won't get into right now.
All right, I hate to break it to you, but this is really off. This kind of stuff makes me just like, I don't want everybody to think that these tips are always accurate. So be careful with all the tips that you hear on the internet, especially the popular ones, especially mine. So you don't want to go from curve to structure. You don't want to create an image based off of curves and then try to move into structure. You want to create something based off of structure first and then move into those curves. Because whether you think so or not, our bodies are actually built on very, very straight line structure. And also we read these structures a lot more clearly. Look at this artist, one of the greatest artists around right now. You're going to think, wow, look at all these curves. It's so voluptuous and curvy, right? Well, that's where you would be like 96% wrong. All right, just to prove this, I'm going to go through every single one of these lines and draw the straight lines that appear. These are all straights. The thing is that this artist is tricking you into thinking there's curves everywhere. There are curves, all right, don't get me wrong, but they're very subtle. So these are all straights. Look, this one's straight, 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 straight. Even some of these things that we think are curves are actually just two little straights put together, and they're at the converging point. They're at a point of change. Don't get tricked, all right? Now we're going to draw the curves, all right? And then we got some of the thighs down here. Just some little hints, you know, very, very small hints here and there. Probably about 96% straight and 2% curved. All right, you don't even want to know what the other percentage is. Come on. What I love so much about this, though, is that whenever the artist does the swoopy things, we get this beautiful connected S shape that goes from top to bottom. All right, and there's straight lines all over the place here. Even TB Choi does this. Check it out. Look at all these straight. Oh my God. Pretty much every professional artist that you're going to talk to is going to tell you, base it on the straights, baby. Check out Rad How To class right now. It's basically like an Instagram, but you can post your own animated projects, any kind of projects, comic projects, and it's community based, and now we can have everybody working on different projects together. Go check it out, make your account, start posting your work. People can start following the projects that you want to create. Industry professionals and teachers are on this website, and they're going to be seeing your work. This way you can connect with professionals, you can connect with other students who are going to become professionals. Not another single darn platform is connected with so many professionals right now. The only other thing I can think of is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, it's just not, it's LinkedIn, you know. So finally we have a creative platform where people can come together. It's like a hub full of for real pros and students who are doing work like this. It's really amazing. Even some of my students were posting their work right here and it's looking phenomenal. So do it, go check out Rad How To.